So today we're going to be talking about how feminism and equality is very helpful in a lot of ways. First off, it's very helpful, and this is what the central concept of this video is going to be about. It's very helpful in terms of bringing about um, independence with women, and this brings about the uh, the ability for women to make her own wealth, her own success, her own freedom in life, and also all the responsibilities for that. And so, if you're ever scared about gold diggers or women who only like guys for their money, you have to realize that, you know, especially nowadays, there are plenty of women out there who are disgusted by this if a man tries to use money to um, get a girl. Now, again, is that every woman? For sure, no. But have faith. Have faith. You know, if you think that your life is screwed because of something as simple as the fact that, okay, you know, I think that I need to be very wealthy to get women, realize that first off, that's not true at all. And again, so in terms of deeper things, wealth pursued in this way, a lot of times will not bring you a happiness or fulfillment if you're using them as some level of means to an end, especially a materialistic end like women, or in terms of whatever you think you want, vacations and things on an island. There's so many stories I've heard, especially after listening to so many podcasts and interviews of successful people and so forth. I don't know how many times I've heard a story about how I used to be this banker who made all this money, but I hated my job, and it was horrendous, and I worked on, and it was always this thing of I'm going to do this for the next year or so, or the next 10 years, and then one day I will finally be happy. And I'm fortunate enough to have been exposed to this. I thank the Lord. I think pretty much a lot of things in life for the ability to be educated early. And what's important about this is that what I learned is that um, if you are constantly chasing a means to end, especially something 10 years out, 20 years out, that can end horrendously because you are not, first off, guaranteed those 20 years. Second off, if you ever get there, you may never stop, and you may just keep plowing on this horrendous pathway to accumulate more money, or you continue on this rat race, or you finally get the money and you get the islands and so forth, and you're just not fulfilled. Oftentimes, if you check out my videos on happiness, you'll realize that the flow and engagement and community and work and family and interactions you have with people, and the relationship you have with people, and what you give to people, these things can provide tremendous fulfillment, meaning, and happiness, which are all very vitally important and possibly more useful to you than some of these physical, superficial stuff. Now, having said that, I do think that to a certain extent, you know, chasing some of these things that I like to call icing on the cake is not a horrendous thing either. But again, eating just icing on its own when you don't have a foundational cake baked yet can lead to just really crappy tasting icing that you're sick of after a while. So that's what I want to say in a nutshell. Central concept behind this video, again, I know I got a little bit off track, is that, again, there are women out there that are very independent, and they are not concerned about money to an extent where it's like, oh my goodness, you are trying to use money to get to me. That will in fact turn them off and disgust them immensely. And so understanding this and realizing that you don't need some reputable job is very useful. Is there a certain level of attraction that money and resources provide? Yes, and the reasons behind that go to a lot of evolutionary biology. The fact that the man has these resources in case of potential scarcity or future uh, pitfalls where resources in our modern society, that's money, but back in the day it was food, maybe power, control, relationships, connections, friends, but mainly food. um, these things can be very vital, and that's why we have them. I do think in the modern society we have to sort of be self-aware and calibrate a bit, because think it through. Like, if you overweight or over bias how much money someone makes in favor of or over a bunch of other things, that can screw you over tremendously, especially if you're looking for any type of relationship with someone. So that's all I gotta say. Again, this is just my amateur advice, subject to change as I experience the world and develop my own opinions. And again, as it being amateur advice from a mere human, it could be completely wrong, and therefore you must take it with a grain of salt. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.